Hello guys, and welcome to Hockenheim for the German Grand Prix in this F1 2014 100% race career. For the first time, what seems to be ages, we actually appear to have a 100% dry race day. As you can see there's a chance of partially overcast there, but a big fat 0 on the chance of rain, and that is definitely good news for us. So we do not have to compromise with our setup today here. We are going to go for a 100% dry setup, and hopefully we should be able to be reasonably competitive on this track. Barring one minor detail is that I'm not very good on this track, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see just how we are going to fare here, because this is not a track I have driven much over the past couple of years, and when I actually have driven it, I haven't been very successful either. So this is going to be our first lap in Q1, 1:19.096, nothing to write home about whatsoever, so we are going to be staying out on track, see if we can improve on that, as we are currently about 3 seconds down on the temporary pole holder there, Nico Hockenheim. 1:17.807, we managed to chop off 1.3 seconds there, but still I'm not feeling overly confident about this particular lap, so we stay out for a third lap just to make sure that we actually make it into Q2. And we managed to chop off another 0.6 there. That should be enough to get us into Q2, even though we only managed a 7th place there. But into Q2 we go, and that is the most important thing. Jumping straight to Q2 here, this is going to be our first lap. As you can see, the sun is out right now, and it should be getting the temperatures on the track up a little bit as we run wide into the gravel pit there. And got some stuff on our tires there that's going to take a while to get off, but hopefully we are going to be a little faster here in Q2 than we were in Q1, as we are out on the option tire this time around. 1:16.911, nothing absolutely brilliant, but apparently it's enough to get us into Q3 in temporary best right now. So I'm not really sure what everyone else was doing, because I don't think it was that good a time, but nevertheless, into Q3 we go, and fairly easily so. This is our first lap in the shootout here, coming up on the finishing straight. 1:16.9 straight, as a matter of fact. A little bit better than our Q2 time there, but we stay out for another lap here, hoping to improve on it. As you can see there, Vettel has the temporary first at the moment there, and we are all the way down into P10, and hopefully we're going to be able to improve on that a little bit as we are running out of fuel here. So 1:16.138, that put us into a temporary 6th, which is where we are going to be starting for tomorrow's race. So I'm guessing all in all a reasonably successful qualifying session here. Sebastian Vettel is on pole in front of his home fans. He's followed by Lewis Hamilton, and Felipe Massa will be starting 3rd. And we get out of the gate reasonably well here. As you can see, Bottas is making a great start. He's overtaken his teammate Massa there. And we are going to be trying to look down the inside of him there, but almost lose the car into turn 1. And we are going to be losing all sorts of positions. And we even have Rosberg, who started in P9th, coming up to overtake us there. So an absolutely horrible start for us so far. We push Kvyat almost off the track there. I'm not sure that there was any contact, but he gave us the room. And we are coming out here on right behind the 2 Williams cars there, who are neck and neck going into the hairpin there. We go down the inside of them, and Hamilton are running a little bit too deep in the corner there, and Hamilton just goes down the inside of us there again, retains his 2nd position. Vettel is off into P1 at the moment, as we are into P3 chasing Hamilton. So a very chaotic start here right from the get-go, but all things considered, we make up 3 positions on the first lap here. Definitely something to be pleased with. And just going a little bit slow there through the right-hander coming into the stadium section of the track here. Hopefully we are going to be able to keep up with Hamilton before he runs away from us here. I would really love to stay within 1 second of him on lap 3 when we get DRS. We should have the straight line speed to be able to match him here, but whether or not we are going to have any sort of chance against him in the stadium section where we seem to be running very slowly, that is anybody's guess at this moment. But all things considered, a very good start, even though things seem to be a little chaotic there at the beginning. Like I was hoping for, as we come out on the main straight here, as you can see, we have the top speed to match Hamilton, and not only match him, but we are gaining ground on him dramatically here, moving down the inside in the slipstream and almost making contact there, but he gives us the room, and Rosberg on his tailpipe there as he is into P3 right now. Very nice driving by Rosberg here on lap 1. Skipping ahead to lap 5 here, Rosberg is into P3 at the moment, and both the Mercs are within 1 second of us here, getting DRS as we come out on the main straight. Vettel, on the other hand, has opened up a bit of a gap down to the rest of us, as he is now about 3 seconds ahead of us. And it's going to be interesting to see just how we are going to be able to stack up against the Mercs here on the main straight, seeing as they have DRS right now, but I think we have the better straight line speed, probably due to the setup that we're running at this point. And on this particular lap, we did not come under any threat. Jumping to lap 11 here, we have managed to close the gap to Sebastian Vettel pretty dramatically over the past couple of laps here, and are now within DRS range. And it seems that Vettel is in a position right now where he has to save fuel. Also, Rosberg doing the fastest lap right here as we go purple in Sector 1. But getting DRS here on the main straight, and Vettel with the Red Bull not having the straight line speed that the McLaren does, we move down the inside of them. They're just touching the grass there with the left wheel, throwing up all kinds of dust there. But we are into P1 on lap 11 of the German Grand Prix. Skipping ahead to lap 12 here as we come out on the main straight. Vettel still in P2, but he is bound to come under pressure from Rosberg here, seeing as the Mercedes just has the better straight line speed than the Red Bull does. Also, Hamilton is immediately behind the two Germans there, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not he can make anything count here coming into the hairpin. And Rosberg moves into P2, and Hamilton moves by Vettel's also, who must have run wide or something like that, I'm not sure, but both Mercedes cars are now into P2 and 3. Jumping to lap 18, we almost run wide here coming into the pits for our first pit stop. We are going to be changing to a set of prime tires, and our tire strategy for this race is set up as a two-stop race with options first, middle stint on primes, and final stint on primes as well, unless we can make the middle stint last long enough for us to make the switch to options for the final stint. We are rejoining the track in 6th position, but coming up here on the very next lap, you can see there are lots of cars in the pits, and hopefully the undercut is going to work for us here, making us able to grab P1 back here. One of the Mercs coming out of the pits. Are we going to be able to squeeze down the outside? No, he comes out right in front of us. We have to stand on the brake there not to crash into the back of Hamilton. And as it appears now, we are into P4. Vettel is in P5. I'm not sure whether or not he's in the pits right now, but we have DRS here on the straight here. We have the engine power to match Hamilton. We're going to make the move down the inside here, outbraking him into the hairpin, and we are into P3, chasing Bottas. So at the moment, it would appear that the Mercedes cars and we are running monumentally different setups there, as we seem to be much faster on the straights and seem to be losing a lot of time in the stadium section. And skipping ahead to lap 22 here, Rosberg has re-emerged from his pit stop, and he is past Hamilton and is now into P2 as we come into the hairpin once again there. Both Mercedes cars are within 1 second of us there, so they are going to have the benefit of DRS on the straights there. So we seem to be holding our ground right now, but for how long? Jumping ahead to lap 25 here, we have opened up a little bit of a gap down to Rosberg of about 2 seconds, which is very positive, seeing as he is now out of DRS range, and with a little luck we should be able to avoid any major mistakes here and hopefully keep this gap going, if not increase it. And just as I talk about not making mistakes there, we run a little wide and have to compensate, losing speed there, giving Rosberg the chance to catch up to us once more. Skipping right ahead to lap 33 here, Hamilton is now into P2 as he has passed Rosberg. As we come into the hairpin, he's going to have a look, but take a look at the mini track there. Rosberg pulls over to the left, parks his car, and apparently is out of the German Grand Prix in front of his home crowd. That is tough luck for Rosberg. He was racing a great race up until this point, but all of a sudden Hamilton went by him a couple of turns ago, and apparently Nico was having some sort of mechanical issue there. Jumping ahead to lap 35, we're coming up on a set of back markers pretty soon as Hamilton is starting to put us under some pretty extensive pressure. Also, Bottas now into P3, Vettel into P4. He's about 17 seconds behind. Jumping ahead to lap 43 here, having been under pressure for long periods of this race here, we have not been too kind with our tires as we almost lose the car here coming out on the main straight, giving us a very bad exit. Hamilton, on the other hand, has a pretty good exit. He's going to have a look down the inside of us there. We are going neck and neck into the hairpin. It's going to be a question of who blinks first, and in this case it's Hamilton, but we run wide in the turn and we have contact there. Coming out of the turn here, we're going almost neck and neck into the sweeping right-hander here, and Hamilton thankfully backs out of that one there as we come in the pit here later on the very same lap with a set of absolutely dead prime tires. And we should be able to open up a bit of a gap here on Hamilton as he had to change his front wing as well, which is at least give us a good 3 seconds of a head start there. But then again, the way Hamilton is going at the moment in this race, I'm not really sure how far 3 seconds is going to get us. Jumping ahead to lap 49 here, Bottas has been in to make his pit stop as well and is back into P3 as we are back into P1, being chased by Hamilton like we have been pretty much all throughout the race here. It's a pretty strange situation though, because even though Hamilton and Rosberg alternately have been all over us pretty much from the get-go there of the race, it's not like we've been under tremendous pressure, seemingly because we have the straight line speed on the main straight there that the Mercedes cars just don't have, and they must be running a pretty different setup to ours there. We're running a wing setup of 3 and 2, but the thing is, even though we're outrunning Hamilton here on the main straight, even though he has DRS, he's not able to catch up to us there. Once we hit the stadium section of the track, he closes any gap we might have opened up on him in an instant. Jumping ahead to lap 60 here, the situation remains unchanged. We are in P1. Hamilton is within 1 second of us. However, Bottas is about 18 seconds behind us now, so this is really turning out to be a 2-car race at this point. A 3-car race up until the point where Rosberg had to retire. And our tires are starting to show some wear and tear here as we almost lose the back end coming out of the hairpin, but these last 7 laps, it's all going to be about not making any mistakes, because if we race the way we are supposed to, I don't think Hamilton is going to be in a position to pass us. As we come out on the main straight here, we have Hamilton immediately behind us this time there. Is he going to have a look down the inside? He has DRS. He's going to have a look down the inside. We're going neck and neck into the hairpin. We're going to try and outbrake him there, but Hamilton follows us all the way there. There's contact between the 2 cars. We almost get pushed off the track, but managed to stay ahead as we close the door. But hats off to Hamilton there. He did not have the space to make the move. He's definitely making a race of it, and you really got to love it when the AI tries something like that. As we come into the stadium section here, we run wide just a little bit. We get the news from the pits that our teammate Jenson Button is out of the race due to mechanical issues. And I hope those mechanical issues do not apply to us here, because We are going to need everything we have in the arsenal here to keep Hamilton behind us for the remaining 6 laps. Skipping ahead to lap 63 here, the situation remains unchanged. We have been running the car full revs here for the past couple of laps, hopefully giving us this extra boost that we are going to need to keep Hamilton behind us there. And he's going to have an extra look down the inside there, coming charging down the inside with DRS open, but he runs deep in the corner and we are able to dive back down the inside of him and remain in P1, even though things are getting dicey. Lap 66 coming up on a set of back markers here. One of them appears to be Ricciardo, who's a lap down in his Red Bull. And I'm really curious to see where Vettel is at this point, because lapping a Red Bull is definitely not something you see every day. And also that appeared to give us a little bit of breathing room down to Hamilton there, as he was not able to negotiate the back markers as luckily as we did. So hopefully that'll give us the boost we need here for the final lap. The way I see it, all we have to do basically is get through the main DRS straight in P1. If we do that, we have to make a mistake, otherwise Hamilton is not going to be able to touch us. But he is right on our exhaust there, and he's definitely making a race of it. Jesus Christ. And just taking it a little easy on the throttle here as we come out on the main straight. We do not want to lose the back end here on these dead tires. We crank the fuel into rich mode. Hopefully this will be enough to keep Hamilton behind us here. If we make it to the hairpin down here, we are going to have to make a mistake. Otherwise this victory is going to be ours. And as Hamilton is unable to make a move down the DRS straight here, all we have to do is get the car home in one piece, coming through the second to last turn here, out on the main straight. We are going to be taking the win here at Hockenheim in front of Hamilton, and those are going to be some nice points to put in the bag there. So we take the German Grand Prix here at Hockenheim in front of Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas is in third. An honorable mention here for Sebastian Vettel. He finishes fourth in front of his home crowd. DNFs today: Jenson Button, Daniel Kvyat, Rosberg, Chilton, Maldonado, Sergio Perez, and Esteban Gutierrez. And having a look here at the Drivers' Championship, we have increased the gap down to Hamilton to 41 points. Nico Rosberg is still in third, but he is starting to lose. He's starting to lose sight of us there, as he is about 87 points down on us at this moment there. So he is definitely going to have to put together a pretty monumental second half of the season. But then again, crazier things have happened. Constructors' Championship, Mercedes still leading, 29 points ahead of McLaren. At any rate, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to leave a like or subscribe to this channel for more F1 2014 action, and I'll be back soon enough. Bye-bye.